Week 11 slate on Underdog. We got lots to dig into today. I'm Pete with the Badge Bros. You guys know the drill. We'll do a little slate overview, macro stuff, things we're seeing, things we're liking. We'll do our favorite scrolls, aka sleepers, on this slate, and then we'll do some drafting. We'll get into the Deposit Kingdom and Badge Bros Brawl contest. We'll dabble in the Dawg Bowl with only 2 more weeks to go there. And then, of course, we will spice it up with some pick'ems. Let's get to it. All right, guys, here we go. I couldn't believe it yesterday on the bash. I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, there's 3 more weeks of the Dawg Bowl with 13, 14. And then no. Just 2 more weeks, guys. You feeling crunch time?
Oh, yeah. Big time. Thankfully, it's not filling as fast as I expected it to, considering it is, one of the last 2 weeks. So I think we're only at 50% right now. Yeah, just over 50%. So should be good for drafting all the way through. I don't know if there'll be anything Sunday morning. Things tend to fill really fast on the weekend, but 50% is a nice spot to get some more volume in.
Yeah. What about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily feeling the pinch to the same extent Nez is. I haven't been 150ing and whatever, but I'll make sure I get my 20 in or 25 in here over the next 2 nights. I need an excuse to scroll to Jameis a couple times.
I forget which one. If I was doing it on one of the drafts, I saw somebody doing the Winston double stack. Is that happening in a lot of them, Nez?
Not a lot, but like it does happen, and I've done it. So I'm one of them.
Okay.
I'm one of them. Yeah. I've done it like once.
What is the what are you at right now, DB stuff, and how many are you trying to get to this week?
Yeah, I'm kind of just gonna go until
my eyes
until
bleed.
It fills. Yeah. What did you say?
Until your eyes bleed? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of blue eyes glasses, blue light glasses being worn. No, I'm at like 42 right now, and I think like my personal max is like 120. Like I think once I get to 120, like we're good. If you don't have it now, I don't think that we got it at that point. So I can get to 120, man. That's definitely doable. So that's my goal.
Sounds like 121 to me. Just one more Winston double stack.
Come on, man. Come on, just one more. Just one more Jacoby stack.
All right. Let's get into it. I mean, from a news perspective here, I've been trying to keep my eye on stuff. I haven't seen anything that really flipped the slate on its head. You guys can let me know. Was there anything significant?
We got a new Drake London Q tag this morning, which is kind of alarming just based on the fact that we had this 2 weeks ago and then he wound up sitting out. Doesn't sound necessarily as dire as previous week did or 2 weeks ago now. But it's still an interesting wrinkle, especially in the 6-persons where he's getting drafted 100% of the time, primarily in the second round. Now we've seen him fall to the 3rd or 4th a couple times. Nez and I were just in a couple together. So yeah, that's an interesting little wrinkle to the slate.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would say to kind of like put some, I don't know, to be bullish on London here, he went DNP Wednesday, LP. So there wasn't like a downgrade necessarily. It's just like on the site we never had the Q tag listed. It was never Q in our eyes up until this point. So like there probably will be a little bit of FUD based around that, and maybe rightfully so. But I still think he plays.
I do too. And can we not bring up the Mooney late swap thing from the last time? It's something I had literally forgotten about that until right now, Chad. Jeez. Disgusting stuff. Everybody go mass unsubscribe from Chad Candle's YouTube channel.
Just cold shoulder in Kansas City.
All right. So not too much on the front. Yeah. And even here, I'm kind of scrolling through stuff. I mean, Devontae Adams was a little questionable this week. He says he's good to go. Didn't he have some quote about him being a dog or something?
Yeah, he literally just had one. And then he said it was an oblique and how much pain tolerance he could withstand. I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, how healthy do you need to be to just stand in the back of the end zone and catch touchdowns from Matthew Stafford?
I mean, seriously.
Can't be that hard. Okay, yeah, let's kind of go overview here for this slate. I guess my kind of macro that definitely informs like the scrolls and stuff. I feel like pretty deep at quarterback and running back this week. I feel like I always have options there. And then wide receiver scrolls, one of the worst weeks for at least from my vantage point of for liking the sleepers at wide receiver, and then tight end is a little thin as well. Curious what you guys are seeing overall.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is like a super fun slate, man. I really like the options at my disposal pretty much any time on the clock. I think one of the biggest takeaways is what you said off the top, Pete, is like QB scrolls and QB depth is huge this week. We have 3 elite quarterbacks, in Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. I can't speak today, but like projection wise, they don't stand out, right? They're not like profiling as elites this week. And that makes QB like really interesting, especially from a Dawg Bowl standpoint, where like you can really just like punt QB because somebody's going to take QBs early. They're going to reach for their stack. They're going to be tantalized by the names. But for 6 persons, that makes scrolling a lot of fun. It's really hard for me to not stack, man. Like I'm really trying to like do more of the naked quarterback stuff, just like going back to the the masterclass roots and seeing the success naked quarterbacks had. But scrolling for a stack to me just kind of seems like the move. And I don't know, maybe you guys feel differently, but fully agree with you on the QB scrolling stuff.
I felt a little bit differently because I'm usually the guy who's prone to do that, exactly that, Nez. And I was like, wow, these are the most palatable price tags we've ever had on the top end QBs that can do a lot from a naked capacity. Like, you lose the Dalton Kincaid stacking partner and nobody's really going to go the Knox route. The Lamar stuff is the most palatable price tag ever. And it's, because of the matchup. And both those 2 games are actually the 2 weather games as well. I'm not usually a proponent for elite quarterback, but that's because we're accustomed to seeing Josh Allen versus a pass funnel coming off of, a good game or something like that. He isn't in this instance, but we're accustomed to slates where if he was coming off a good game, that he'd be going as like quarterback 5 here. Or like overall 5, like ADP 5, like there. So I'm actually a proponent of elite quarterback this week, and I rarely am. I'm trying to scoop up 3rd round and sometimes 4th round Josh Allen when it's there.
Yeah, and it is interesting, like looking even at these top 4, the guys who are going to have 80 to 90% ownership or 100% in the case of Allen and Jackson, is like they're not the cleanest spots. Even home versus Tampa Bay, not the greatest spot. At Cleveland, not the greatest spot. At Denver, and then Herbert, Jacksonville, or just the offensive line for the Chargers continues to be a little bit of an issue there. So like even the top 4 quarterbacks, none of them are like getting steamed this week or going ahead of ADP. Like Mahomes is like free in like drafts. Like I have to keep forcing myself not to take Mahomes. Like, and especially if you take Rice, like you can literally take Mahomes with your last pick when you take Rashee Rice in the 6s. So that's a really interesting dynamic with the quarterbacks this week.
And it's also Mahomes off a bye too, which is like historically good. Yeah, it's interesting. Last week, I punted the elite quarterbacks, and I lived in that back end range and was really excited with the ownership that I ended up getting on the Stafford, Goff, and Baker tier. This week, I think I'm going to be the top 2, and then I think I might full punt the Mahomes, Herbert, Stafford to an extent tier, and then be only scrolls after that. So I think I'm going to be playing the 2 at the top as like 3rd round, like one-offs, rarely stacked. And then all my stacking stuff will be further contrarian leverage pushed further down.
The only 2 follow-ups I'd have to that, and this is just kind of informed by seeing some of the in-game syndicate draft caddy projections, like Mahomes 92%, Herbert 85, but actually a pretty big drop-off to Stafford at 54%. So like that should be notable. And then the only other thing too is I do think Mahomes, Rice, and Herbert Ladd, Herbert Gadsden will obviously be very popular. But I do think if you're willing to get to Worthy, Yuta just gave a pretty good selling pitch on him on Bully the Sims. Mathology was selling me on him yesterday, more so in the 12s, but the thesis still stands. And then with Herbert, like, man, we've seen it, like these guys, when you have QJ and you have Keenan, you can get to the other pass catchers here at really low ownership and get nice leverage without sacrificing a ton of projection. So that would be my only thought, because I'm generally in line with you, John, about these QB 3s, 4s, tight end 3, 4s, but I do think there's some interesting ways to play these guys.
Are you guys getting to the JJ McCarthy stuff? He projects really well. He's still, despite that high projection, and it's not hard to conceive the good projection because it's against the Bears. Like, despite all of that, he's what, QB9? That's just crazy. And I think maybe the problem is maybe Jefferson doesn't seem as appealing to stack because it's been so weak for JJ like all season essentially. But I feel like if JJ McCarthy is blowing up, I have a relatively high confidence that it's with Justin Jefferson. Are you guys getting there? To me, it just seems kind of like a no-brainer. Just kind of trust the process on that one, considering he hasn't really steamed up enough.
I haven't done it yet. I'm not a huge proponent of it this week, just in general. I played it the last couple of weeks here when he was like super cheap, and now obviously this is like a better spot. I watched those games pretty intently. I don't think he's good. Like I'm a little like bro sciencey with this one, where it's like I understand why he projects well. I understand that there's a little bit of rushing upside. I understand that Aaron Jones has looked decent since coming back as well. I'm kind of convinced he's not very good. And that's just my own biases seeping into it. And I'm scrolling past it. I'm going to play Jacoby Brissett against a super banged up defense instead, who has given us 19 fantasy points plus in 4 straight games, who's getting even further discounted than this. Like, I'm going to play Jameis. Like, I don't know.
To me, I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go that far. To me, it's like the conversation is like not even about McCarthy. To me, It's like we have a few of these defenses this year, right? Where it's like the Cowboys secondary, the Bengals secondary, where we just have the worst quarterbacks imaginable putting up huge days. Russell Wilson put up like 35 points on the Cowboys secondary. So to me, the question is, are the Bears in that conversation as like a facilitator of like high-end games? I think it's close. I mean, I was listening to Crane's walkthrough talking about, I think they're last in the league in getting pressure to the quarterback. So if you're going to give me a home spot with JJ McCarthy in the dome all day to throw, and then the horses he has, I'm kind of into it. And I think because Caleb is so volatile, like if they get some explosive plays, like I can see the vision of this game going a little bit back and forth, but there is the cratering element. Like McCarthy and Caleb could just both have these meltdowns. Like this would not shock me to just be watching this game in the third quarter and wanting to, blow your brains out because no one has done anything. So
13-9, and you're like, holy shit, man! Like, please get 100 yards, JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, but I'm into it. I'm gonna have a decent amount of McCarthy. I think the entire spot, like I like it down the road. Like I'll stop at Hawkinson, but obviously Aaron Jones and Addison as well, I think are very much in play.
Yeah.
Any other, we can like stay on the position and do some scrolls here as well. John, you mentioned Winston. We get Purdy back this week. He's going to be at low ownership. Brissett is going to be at extremely low ownership, despite being the DFS chalk this week, which is always a little canary in the coal mine for a good scroll down play on the Dawg app. Any other kind of gems you guys like here?
It depends who you get from a pass catcher standpoint for Trevor Lawrence. Like I would just throw that, hey man, they've had some low-key fun games recently. Might throw him out there. I'm really torn on like 2 names that I want to play, but I don't know if we can trust the offenses, and just because of the peaks and valleys, and that's Jordan Love and Bo Nix. I have no idea what to do there. I want to be the guy who's like, yeah, we can find a bounce back spot against the Giants for Jordan Love when everybody is playing Jacobs and nobody else from that game. And you can get a little contrarian with like, a Watson Love or a Golden Love with like some speed up the game guys. But I don't know. It might be a bridge too far for even me.
I mean, I'm such a sucker for the Jordan Love and good spots that end up just being Josh Jacobs spots. But I do think, the Dobbs was there an update on his Q tag? Is he fully good to go?
That's been like didn't he practice? People have been very much assuming that he's good to go.
I heard people say like full practice, and the note said he was limited, and so I haven't gotten clarity on that.
Full on Wednesday, full on Thursday. No official filing on Friday yet, other than what you could dig up on Twitter.
Yeah, so he should be good. But yeah, I think I can't imagine in the sixes getting beyond Dobbs personally as far as stack partners. And I do think it is like, it's a weird game to play him naked just because it's like, well, what do you do on the Giants? Like Jordan Love, Wan'Dale Robinson, like, I guess, whatever. So it is one of those spots, but I see the ceiling case. I see it every week with this asshole.
Okay. I don't want to get like you brought it up, Pete. I don't want to go like super far scrolling on the running back stuff yet, but like Dayball, the reason Singletary was anything was Dayball, right? Like, what if Tyrone Tracy is just fully unlocked by Jameis here, and Tyrone Tracy is the bring back you need in that scenario?
It wouldn't be the craziest thing. I mean, I don't mind it from we need the Packers to get pushed. So if you're playing the Giants from a lead, but that's also a hard story to tell yourself.
Yeah.
The Giants played for the lead. So I don't know.
Yeah. I just I'm looking at guys with flat 36 ADPs who could get 15 to 18 touches with a big shakeup in their surrounding scenario. I don't know. Everybody wants to play Woody Marks. Everybody wants to play like some of these other guys. Like we know Tracy's got a little bit of that juice. I don't know.
I don't hate it. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say any other quarterback stuff before we hop to running back.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall for the Brock Purdy bait. I think that this is a really good spot. They're only 2-point favorites here against Arizona, which to me, instead of looking at it as like a bear signal, like like what's going on here, I'm more excited about it. I think that to me, I take that as like, okay, they got to put like pedal to the metal a little bit here and continue to score points, because Lord knows on the defensive side, I don't know that they could even stop not that like Marvin Harrison Jr. is this gigantic offensive piece that you're removing, but he's good, obviously. But even removing him, I still think that they're going to be able to have success. Arizona is. And, obviously like that, this is me painting a bull case for Brock Purdy and them having to be aggressive. And, Mac Jones did his thing. Rockwell meme, I still think Brock Purdy's better than Mac Jones. So I think that given the fact that they get Ricky Pearsall back as well, we have obviously the CMC usage here. I think Brock Purdy is a pretty fun scroll. He in his optimal percentage on an ETR is one of the highest in terms of like QBs past QB4. So that makes him really intriguing to me, to pair with a number of players that you can get to with Brock Purdy. CMC probably my favorite, but you can get to a lot of different guys.
Yeah, I like that you said CMC is your favorite there, because I think a lot of people are going to just do it naturally with Kittle over and over again, and that's going to be the most highest owned combinatorial one in the 6 persons in particular. So just putting that on people's radars to be the guy who takes John Jennings, to take Pearsall, to do it with CMC is just like a good little lever to pull.
Yep. And I think also looking at the stacking rates, shout out Nerdy over at InGame, you are seeing a decent amount of naked Brock as well, which has been a dynamic that we've seen with the Niners over the years when they have their full complements of weapons, which we're essentially getting this week because Brandon Ayuk is just an idea and not something that actually exists.
Sorry. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
I might have been going where you're going, because I was going to say the one other quarterback I wanted to talk about that I think is very much in play is Rodgers.
Is that where you were going? Say, have we given up on the dream, Nez? And I was going to ask him if we've given up on the dream.
No, I'm not giving up, man. I'm not giving up. I'm just like trying to pump the brakes a little bit because, Yuta was talking about it and talking with some other people that do dog bowls, I was really high on DK Metcalf, and everyone's like, like DJ Turner's a thing. It's really the running backs and the tight ends that are getting home against the Bengals. It's not the wide receivers, but I think the one thing that is being missed on like the wide receivers not being as good as the other positions is the way that DK Metcalf has been used, which is kind of like, in the flats.
Over the middle a little.
Over the middle. Yeah. Like it's the short yardage stuff. So he really attacks where they are weak. I'm trying to like stick with my guns here and not be too, influenced by other people, even though I do think they're making good points. Yeah, man. Like I was trying not to say it, but like, yes, I do think that Aaron Rodgers can be good here.
I like Aaron Rodgers more than Flacco straight up this week. I mean, we've done this spot before where, I mean, we got excited about Daniel Jones coming here to Pittsburgh. Like, they give these quarterbacks fits. And I just like the Pittsburgh side a lot more. And the other thing, Nez, I would say about the Metcalf thing is, even if he's limited, like, the way Metcalf is going to hit in the way that like pushes Rodgers to a 30-point game is he's going to take one of those slants, or he's going to beat DJ Turner one time for an 80-yard touchdown. And then all of a sudden, like, none of the splits matter. And like, that's kind of what you're banking on. I know he's racked up volume this year in the catches, but you're still hoping for that big play. And I like it's hard to get to. I actually did a Dawg Bowl this morning where I did Rodgers and Freiermuth at the 5-6 there. And I do love the tight end stuff here. And looking at the data too, you can roll Aaron Rodgers naked. I think playing him opposite Chase Brown, T, or Jamar Chase is also just a really elegant way to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
While you guys were talking about the Flacco stuff there, and Pete, you just said you didn't like it. I'll just remind people, like, if you're looking at the combinatorial stuff or you're looking at the nerdy stuff, like Pete alluded to, that if you're going to do the Flacco thing, don't do it only with Chase, because that's what everybody's going to do. You know, mix a T1 in there, mix a Chase Brown in there, something like that.
Yeah. The Chase Brown, I think both the Warren with Rodgers, Chase with Flacco is very much in play. I mean, specifically even with Chase Brown, just because now with no P Ryan, we're back to kind of where we were last year when he was in kind of blast off mode, where they're just not giving touches to anyone else. And I think you could definitely use him as part of those stacks.
Yep.
All right, let's talk some running backs here. We can bounce around both high end and gems. I have a lot of fun with running back this week. Like Nez was kind of saying, I feel like there's never a spot where I'm like, oh, this running back feels so gross. Whereas last week, you'd get to the 6th round and needed a running back, and it was just like looking up to God and praying. So what are you guys seeing here at running back?
I think there's like some there's like some pretty stark tiers right now, where it's just like CMC is a tier by himself, then Bichon and Jacobs are a tier by themselves. Rico sometimes pushes up to that. And then Cook's kind of on an island, and then it's everybody else kind of vibe. And it's like you'll get Warren pushed up a little bit more because of the projection and the spot there. But I think it's like a clearly defined tiers in the 6-person. And what that means is that like the upper echelon guys will always be paired with the same guys on certain sides of the board when this happens. Like, whereas like last week, you know, you could get guys to fall all over the place because there were mixing and matching. You know, I was out on Gibbs a little bit there, and, you know, people were mixing and matching. Whereas this week, it's like way more linear in terms of like where they are in combo mapping on the board.
Yep.
Yeah. Good take. It's always important to, you know, be cognizant of the combos. For me, my eyes are just like fully locked in on the scrolls, man. And I can't get enough of these rookies. You know, the rookies being Woody and RJ Harvey, particularly. Judkins obviously is good too, but like that spot I worry a lot more about compared to these two, where Woody just completely dusted Nick Chubb last week, and now we get a smash spot against the Titans here. I'm just so gravitated to this one. Just an awesome scroll, well under 100% ownership. I'm not sure where he ends up. It may be 50%. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment. We'll see how the week goes. And then Harvey, I love to. Yeah, Woody.
I think I would be shocked if he ends up over 30. Honestly.
Okay.
I think you're gonna be good on that.
Nice. And then Harvey, man, no Dobbins. It sounds like. I don't know if we got the official rule out yet, but it does seem like we're trending that way.
They got a bye week next week, and he was like IR candidate. And I think it's like 0% chance he plays this week.
Yeah, everything I've heard is that there's no shot. I just haven't had the official ruling yet. Yeah, I really like Harvey, man. KC has been, you know, a little bit weak against the run this season as well. Tight spread here. And I think Harvey has the juice, dude. And this could be a little bit of like the Hendo effect where, hey, he's forced to play Harvey. Hopefully he's forced, you know, hopefully we don't get any, you know, bidet or homer bullshit involved in this game. But yeah, these are ones that I'm trying to play it before I see it. And the volume we can assume is there in a big way for these guys. And I trust them in these spots.
Yeah, The name to watch out for, I think, is Jaleel McLaughlin. I think that's the guy who could come in and be the fly in the ointment. But it's similar to the Henderson stuff. Like, they have basically no choice but to expand his role. And then you just got to hope that both the hot hand and smarter heads prevail with how to go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on RJ this week. I don't really like the matchup. All his like pass catching stuff hasn't been like the role of a pass catcher. It's just been that he's good at catching passes, which is a good thing, obviously. But I do fear that they'll use like a decent amount of Jaleel, and it's just like Sean Payton running backs, man. I haven't played anyone before this. I'm not gonna play anyone after this. Like, I want to see it first. I know that he has the propensity to be electric, but I'd way rather play Travis Etienne and Aaron Jones in that range over both Woody and RJ. So that's where I was at.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to poo-poo the sub 10% RJ Harvey, and I also think this game could have some scenarios where it gets pretty fun there. But yeah, Aaron Jones is an awesome play. I think going to be a pretty big ownership gap there. You know, the way ETR has him in the projections, he's getting drafted at a pretty good clip. ETN though, I think very much in like the Woody range as far as ownership. And yeah, Yuta was just getting us on ETN there on that show. So yeah, I think these guys, and Kamani Vidal's like essentially free in drafts. Even Chase Brown, like, you're never wanting for a running back in the 6s this week.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. Like, Chase Brown will be like my favorite out of those two at the back end in the 6th there. The Vidal stuff, like the peaks and valleys of it are pretty scary, and like just like the worst offensive line period against a good, decent defensive front there. Like, I'd rather play Chargers through the air, and I'm kind of just passing on Chargers through the air a little bit too. So yeah, that's where I'm at on it. I think there's like some sneaky like Q tag ones too. Like, it's obviously not a good spot for Kareem Hunt, but he could fall into the end zone twice. That's more of a Dawg Bowl play if we get no Pacheco.
Yeah, and honestly, these other two guys here as well, like Swift, clear lead back there. If you are playing that game to get fun, you got to imagine Swift's a big part of that. And then it's gross as hell, and you know, Sean Tucker, yada yada, but it's easier to run on the Bills, and Rachaad White's going to be out there in all passing situations. At like non-existent ownership, I think you got to give him a look on a few teams.
Yeah, I mean, if Cade Otton is going to be, you know, 85% drafted because of the 12 targets last week, and you know, people are just making him wide receiver too, like, it's amazing leverage off of some of your Josh Allen stuff or stacked with Baker stuffs to go down to Rachaad White.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, very strong list of scrolls. I mean, I can get Vidal out of here, but even just this cohort that we were talking about, and you can pick your flavor, the rookies, the veterans who project solidly. You know, Aaron Jones will probably get closer to, you know, 50, 60% ownership. But even then, these guys are really nice plays at a discount.
Yeah, I like it.
Strong scroll week, man. And even the chalk is really good too. So like, yeah, it's kind of tough, like, you know, because everybody else agrees that the chalk is really good. So I guess on one hand it is leverage, but on the other, it's like, yeah, just loaded RB slate. And I said at the beginning, I really like the slate this week. And like, I could even go with 3 wide receivers this week. I find there are 3 wide receivers that I like, but like, when you have these well-projecting scrolls at running back, it's really hard. Like, there may be like 10% of my portfolio dedicated to 3 wide receivers just because of the strength of it. But God, I think it's really fun on Underdog this week.
I've basically done, the only times I've done 3 wide receiver, obviously you start 2, and then occasionally a Jefferson or a Buka would fall, and I would do the 3rd there. But I'm basically never doing the 3rd with like anyone after that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe I have a couple with Adams where you have like a JSN, and then Adams is the one who falls deep, and you're like, all right, I'll tack on that stack.
Yeah, for sure. Because like these games, man, I think, especially if you get the right game environment where you can get a little bit of back and forth, like that LA Rams Seattle game, which really profiles as like game of the year up to this point. And despite there being really strong defenses, the total's still at 48.5 with the 3-point total. Yeah, I think that's one where you can totally get away with 3 wide receivers and then maybe a double stack.
I wanted to finish my thought on running back real quick before we kind of moved into like 3 wide receiver. I just wanted to ask you guys, like you guys said the chalk strong and whatever, and I'm glad Nez and you brought up that Rams and Seattle game because it's a really cheap price tag for Kyron Williams. I'm just looking at this like pocket of like the quote unquote chalk, the guys that'll be drafted from basically Kyron all the way up to CMC there. Who is the guy that you're going to most likely be, or two guys you're going to be underweight on?
In up to Kyron range?
Yeah, I would just say like RB 1 through 9 is how I would frame it.
Yeah. Henry and Kyron for me.
Henry and Kyron, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say James Cook and Derrick Henry. Fading Derrick Henry feels scary. Just like traditionally in spots where he's playing like dog shit teams. But I'm doing it though. I am doing it.
My highest owned thus far is Derrick Henry, and I think the reason I asked the question was because I thought I was going to be starkly different than you guys. That's why I asked it, because I thought that was the spot that nobody would want.
I get it.
Talk about, I mean, other than like the obvious stuff, I'm more curious about like the opportunity cost of like the guys you're passing on around him. But yeah, like sell me on overweight Henry.
Yeah, he's falling to like the 5th and the 6th sometimes, and you can just tack him on as the flex. And it's like, man, this is almost Dehember with the big dog in second game back with Lamar. Their defense looks vastly improved. This is a little ugly weather game. I understand that the defense on the other side is stout against the run, but like this is fucking Derrick Henry in bad weather with Lamar back for a second game here. Like, it's floor plus ceiling. Like, I don't know, like, because when we were doing the scrolls, like I get excited about the scrolls this week, but I struggle to find someone who's like 25 have to have it break the slate, like where we found the Kyle Minung guys, where we found that stuff like 2 weeks ago, like even last week where we found the Hendo. I don't see, like, I like the scrolls, don't get me wrong, but I don't see like the 30 burger down there. I see the 30 burger in like gross spots, but they fall into the end zone twice in Kyron and Henry. Like, you know?
Yeah. My counter would be Baltimore's team total isn't near as high as you would want it to be. It's 23 points. A lot of the times when Henry's going nuts, it's because the Ravens are going for 30 plus. Browns really good against the run. They've given up the 4th least amount of points in half point PPR to opposing running backs. And then this guy's also getting fucking vultured by Justice Hill at the goal line.
That's a really good one too. That last week he got vultured there. Yeah.
I mean, I had him lock buttoned in some really good DraftKings teams, and I'm still angry at him. But I'm also trying to be objective and not take it out on the big dog who just continues to find ways to shove it down my throat. Even when I play him, he finds a way to shove it down in a negative way.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry to derail. Yeah. I'm almost ready to move on. The three super scrolls. I like DeMarcado. I think he has that juice. I think you can stack him with
Pete. Can we move on to wide receiver, please?
I've been trying.
Tyro, Tracy, and Sean Tucker all in play in the same way that Chris Rodriguez was going to break the Dawg Bowl last week before getting hurt.
Oh, well, let me let you clarify. Are we talking 6s or 12s?
Those are 12s. Those are just the 12s, but I'm going to have those guys.
Okay.
I was seeing, maybe I was thinking there's some like bar in there that's like, I ain't talking 6s or 12s because like JJ McCarthy, I'm fucking 9, baby.
Not bad.
There you go. Okay. I am going to move us on to wide receiver here now. We got the big 3 at the top again, similar to last week. Chase, JSN, Puka. We mentioned the stuff with the London Q tag. You have some of these staples of the second round in Rashee Rice, Jefferson, Igbuka. Nico and Devontae never seem to slide too far past ADP, and then we're kind of starting to get into scrollish territory there. What else are you guys seeing at wide receiver?
Let me pull this up here. For me, I've been doing, because like we talked about how strong the scrolls are at running back and quarterback as well. Been doing a lot of wide receiver early, especially when I get like a, middle of the round pick. Let's say I start with, a top 3 wide receiver. I'll more than happily take another wide receiver in the second round there, assuming Trey McBride doesn't make it back to me. Really, really strong wide receiver slate. In my opinion, man, these are all, some of like the best quarterbacks in the league, some of the best wide receivers in the league, and what I think are some really good spots here. And I find it really hard to scroll at wide receiver. There's options, of course, like don't get me wrong, it's not impossible, but I find scrolling at wide receiver to be a hell of a challenge this week. So thankfully we have John to kind of help guide us to some of these scrolls. But I personally don't see myself getting too scrolly at wide receiver at all this week.
Oh, Nez, I hate to admit it, but I do kind of see eye to eye with you on this one, that I am doing a lot more of like the 2-1. And then if the elite quarterback is there at like the fringe areas of like the 3rd/4th, I will have a lot of builds that are like 1-1-2, 1-1-2, and then figure out what the flex and what the tight end's going to be. And usually it's a scroll at both of those. It's a scroll at the tight end and it's a scroll at the running back right now, just because I do think the floor ceiling combo of some of those back end options are better. I mean, we can get into like some names and stuff that I could see ceiling or see like good games from and stuff, but like I am kind of in lockstep here that I think like the top 7-ish plays are like super strong and in good spots. And I like them all so much that I want to jam 2 of them and then decide. So yeah, I'm in lockstep with you there, but we can get into some of the scrolls.
Yeah, let's because I've found it really hard to get to the scrolls. Like what I've been struggling with, and this is like a classic thing, right? There's some guys who project well back here. Wandale Robinson, Juwan Johnson, Romeo Doubs, Parker Washington, Khalil Shakir, even Tedaroya McMillan. I am just having a really hard time seeing the ceiling for these guys. And generally in my head, I'm saying like, can you get to 20 underdog points? We've seen some weeks where like the 17 or 18 will play on some of the lower scoring, but it's been harder for me when I click these guys to be like, can you get me 20 underdog points? So that's the ceiling is what I'm struggling with. I think they project well. There's some decent spots, but the ceiling aspect has really been a sticking point for me.
Yep. I think that's a really good point, Pete. I fully agree with you. I think there's definitely a couple ceilings to chase. Like if you want to like get into names and stuff like that. Like I did a Brian Thomas this morning just to see if it happens. We already got the Parker Washington in, but we don't have the Brian Thomas in yet. I do like the Xavier Worthy, like speed up that game, that sort of thing. I like if you play that game as a shootout, even though I don't think it'll go that way necessarily, and I'm kind of off the Mahomes stuff, but I do like the Knicks plus Franklin or Knicks plus Sutton stuff if you do like Rice early in that one and play like kind of a game environment. Tez Johnson versus somewhat of a pass funnel, and pass funnels going back and forth there seems entirely fine. And then I already talked about kind of the Green Bay angle of playing whack-a-mole with one of the field stretchers there. But yeah, I do agree that it's way more like the back end scrolls this week feel like 3K guys that you jam in cash to give you like 11 fantasy points to make the rest of your lineup work. And that's just doesn't get you anywhere on our site unless you're in the 12s.
And the thing that's kind of sick about it too is the profiles aren't like it's a double whammy of the guys who you'd be wanting to get to, like they just don't have the profile of ceiling guys. And then you also have a lot of input volatility on their situation. So like Parker Washington, like how much is Jacoby Myers going to be more involved this week? Romeo Doubs, like, are we going to get Matthew Golden back? It sounds like, not that he hasn't been a constant in that offense, but
with the Parker Washington one too, as well, Strange coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you can kind of like poke holes and all of that, even with Juwan. Like I would be so much more excited about Juwan Jennings too if Pearsall wasn't playing, where it's like all of these things have like multiple holes to poke in it. And it's not to say I'm not going to get to these guys. I've been doing the Wandale, the Parker, but not as near of a high of frequency as I normally do it. I think the more I talk about it, my favorite is probably just Addison, because he's the one guy that I do think can drop the 30 points, who's just mega talented in a good spot. Awesome leverage on the Jefferson ADP. Like he's the one that stands out to me.
Yeah, I think he makes a ton of sense, right? We've got a high projected JJ McCarthy. We know Addison has these ceiling games in his range of outcomes. Super low owned direct leverage off of Justin Jefferson. So yeah, that's my favorite as well. The only other player that I would scroll to is Wandale. Really into the Jameis thesis with Wandale here. It would shock me, man, if they were up in this game. So I do just see them having to pass a lot just because we know the Packers want to run the football. We know the Giants cannot stop the run. So hopefully that's just like they can score quick in the success and being able to do that. But I Wandale, especially with no Slayton, just got him ruled out as well. I like Wandale with Jameis, man. Let's just let him sling it and see what happens.
Yeah, it's a fun idea. I like that one just in general as well there, Nez. I was doing it primarily with Theo Johnson and a little bit of Tyrone Tracy mixed in, but I definitely got to mix in some Wandale if I'm going to play the Jameis stuff. What
do you guys think about this?
Yeah.
Because I had looked in, because I wrote up for Fantasy Life how to attack that Rams Seahawks game. Is this where you're going?
I was just going there and just pulled up all the stats from last week. So
yeah.
Sam Darnold only dropped back to pass 11 times last week. They were up by 1 million, that sort of thing. Rashid Shaheed only played 30% of snaps, but it's really encouraging that he had 2 rushing attempts. So they were willing to use him in creative ways. If we throw out the wanting Cooper Kupp to score narrative, like the ADOT and deep passing efficiency of Sam Darnold this season is basically second to none in the league. So that profile fits him greatly. And then you go back to the Kubiak narrative of like the reason they got him and the reason he broke onto the scene was the first 4 games with the Saints last season. And now this narrative comes into fruition. Everyone was frothy to play him last week. Obviously, he doesn't play a full allotment last week and the game script doesn't go their way. If they're chasing points here, I think it's a really nice setup for Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah. Like if I was to like buy in on this or to try to tell myself stories, like I can get there on that one. This is the game of the year. If we get them going back and forth, they want to showcase their new shiny toy offensively. Maybe the Rams sell out to be like, all right, JSN is just playing insane. And JSN's good enough to beat double coverage, but I don't know. I'm just trying to tell myself the story of like, can Shaheed get to 100 yards and a tutty here? Maybe it speaks to me more than some of these other lower ceiling guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. I think you just play Shaheed and Darnold and like don't really worry about how it happens. Just pair it with Darnold, in my opinion. Because if Shaheed's having success, like chances are that's coming along with a high pass rate. And if they're passing a lot, I think you just bank on Darnold just having a great game on top of that, and then just kind of figure it out from there. I don't hate it at all, man. I mean, he's not going to project well because why would he? The props aren't going to be good on him because why would they? But Shaheed, I think, is clearly an upgrade over Cooper Kupp based on what we've seen, and is an entirely different type of element to this passing game that they haven't had other than in the form of Jackson Smith and Jigba. So you bring Shaheed in to kind of play a different role here another week with the team here, and let's be real, they probably weren't even worried about last week, right? I bet everything that they did leading up to last week's game was in preparation for this game because of how big this game is. So, I can't hate it, man. I can't hate it.
The only other guy I would mention too, just because we've seen the ceiling, and we kind of just know his role hasn't really been impacted as much by the Gadsden breakout, would just be QJ. And we know he can get loose. Is that
we're in lockstep? Okay. I got the practice report up on the other page here, Pete. That's exactly where I was going, to make sure he practiced in full today. He did practice in full today. Yes, I think it's a good pivot off of the fact that Vidal and Ladd get drafted every time alongside Herbert. So if you mix that one in, there was a little bit of a role shakeup for him last week where he was winning more with like some of the crossers and underneath stuff before he was like the big ADOT guy. So I think it's low key encouraging that like they're mixing and matching him on like 2 thresholds now, that they're like that confident in him.
Yep. All right. We did our best. I think talking it through did give me like some more clarity on here. And I I think it's just scroll farther. That's the thing. Scroll down to Addison, scroll to QJ, scroll to Worthy. Just keep scrolling.
I got a question for you guys. Any love for playing the other side of the Minnesota game with a Luther Burden breakout and or running it back with like DJ Moore, or is that shit dead to us?
I would be interested in the DJ Moore, but I can't get there with Burden.
Okay.
I know. I'm the Burden stuff is so intriguing to me. I wouldn't fault you if you want to play just because of how efficient he's been with his targets, and like the way that he gets home is like he doesn't need a lot of plays. It's like 1 or 2 plays, and next thing you know, Luther Burden's got 18 fantasy points based on like his usage so far. I don't hate it, man. I really don't hate it. They got to play him. They got to play him. They need him in this spot where they're blitzing a lot, and Caleb's going to be able to scramble, or he's going to have to scramble and or make quick decisions. So I don't know, man. I want to play it. I really do, but that's some real ball knower shit. Like that's not going to project well. That's not going to sim well. But Luther Burden is extremely efficient in his limited opportunities. What if he gets more?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Let's talk some tight ends here. McBride, obviously, in a tier all of his own, a fixture of the 1-2 turn. Kittle kind of in a secondary tier as well, more at the 3-4 turn there. And then Gadsden and Kelsey kind of floating around. And then you're quickly in scroll territory. Those top 4, really the 100% owned guys. And then even even Kate Otten isn't drafted 100% of the time. So what are you guys seeing at tight end this week?
Yeah, Kelsey low-key going undrafted a couple times this morning too when people get a little scroll happy. So, you'd be nice to get Kelsey at like 85%. I'll take some Kelsey at 85% owned in the main contest. But I agree with you guys. Like I'm going to make a concerted effort to have a decent amount of Kittle and McBride this week. And then I like some super scrolls, but I think Theo Johnson is probably my favorite scroll right now.
Yep, love Theo Johnson, but the top 3, man, McBride, Kittle, and Gadsden, combined ownership for me in 6-person drafts on those guys is probably gonna be like 80%, maybe 90%. Like just the way that those 3 look like they're separating in terms of projection just feels kind of like a no-brainer. Coupled with all the scroll viable options that we've talked about, it just seems like you're sacrificing like hardly anything to make it a point to get those 3 guys. We did get a little bit of like, a light in the darkness or whatever the fuck you want to say. Dalton Schultz, dude. Dalton Schultz. He just practiced.
He did? Okay. I was wondering about that one.
Super high volume for our guy, Dalton Schultz. One of your favorite best ball clicks, people forget.
That's right. Yeah, people used to tease me about him being my favorite guy. Maybe while this show's going on, I'll see what my Dalton Schultz shares are doing.
Let's go.
I like that call a lot. He's been a volume monster there. You just worry about the game just because Tennessee just brings everything down with them. I'll mention he's not a scroll per se, but stuff is breaking pretty well for Kyle Pitts with the London Q tag. Mooney's been awful. Carolina gives up the 6th biggest boost to opposing tight ends. So a good matchup there. And also just kind of leverage too on the 100% owned London in Bijan there at the top. So I like the idea of Pitts kind of capturing the points in the Bijan London stuff, potentially failing there.
I like the Mark Andrews stuff this week more than I did last week, just because it's slightly discounted in ownership and we get no Bateman and no Justice Hill now. So like I'm fine doing the skinny stack stuff. They clearly designed stuff in the red zone for him. If no one breaks the slate at the upper echelon and you only need like 8 to 11 points from your tight end, I mean, he can break the slate with like 2 touchdowns, but I think I'm going to do a lot of McBride and Kittle, and then I'm going to do a lot of Andrews, Theo, and Schultz, and then maybe a scroll to like Fannin or Njoku. I think that's kind of like my tight end pool.
Yeah.
What about Loveland? You guys buying the Loveland stuff, like Komet back and Komet only had 2 targets and didn't record a catch is like the cat out of the bag here, that Loveland's like for real now, and just because he doesn't have the box score of 2 weeks ago, we can get sneaky leverage here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I was workshopping a tweet in my head for someone who doesn't tweet, but it was something along the lines for the Henderson bros that can't fathom how the toothpaste couldn't be put back in the tube. May I interest you in Exhibit A, Colston Loveland, because that's exactly what happened after his breakout. I just don't think you have to play a timeshare tight end on this slate unless it's the Steelers, in which case I am interested in a timeshare tight end.
Don't even get me started, man. I mean, yeah, John, I think people are going to want to get to it quite a bit. And, and I just think it's fragile.
I agree.
Mean, maybe not quite a bit, but like, it just makes a lot of sense intuitively. It's tight end 10, so like whatever, like go ahead and play it. But I do think it's just fragile with Komet there, even though the results, the first in the sample size of like one of Komet being back, didn't quite like, it looked good for Loveland. So I can see it, but I think it's a little fragile in my opinion. We could have like a whole segment on the Steelers tight ends, guys, because I don't know if you've heard, but the Bengals give up a lot of fantasy points. I mean, the flowest of flow charts that ever existed is tight ends against the Bengals. And then, of course, we are met with the stoppable force and the movable object in the Steelers tight end room, which there's 3 of them. There's fucking 3 of them, dude. Look at
I had to go into my Google Drive for the old school Smiz flowchart parody video there.
That's great. Some people have said I look like Smiz with my short hair, but I don't know.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a running joke. But 3 Steeler tight ends, guys, in this one. Play whatever you want, because I think you can. Including Mount Washington, who has been a favorite of the coaching staff, by the way. Might I mind?
Seriously. Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of more on the Nez side in that my ownership is going to be heavily concentrated on the big 3 so far. Getting to a little bit of Theo. I'm with you on that, John. He's kind of my favorite of like if I can get a guy at sub 20%. I'm definitely going to, like I said, do some sprinkles of Cincinnati tight end, but it'll probably almost be exclusively tied to that game and no one-off stuff. I don't know. Would John, you said you were doing a little elite quarterback. Any Dawson Knox with Allen?
I did it once this morning. The splits with Dawson Knox without Kincaid are like pretty strong, like historically speaking. The problem with it is there's a lot of noise in historical samples based on wide receiver rooms and who was available on isolated weeks. But like the Dawson Knox ceiling is kind of like what I alluded to with the Mark Andrews, where it's like he's literally going to go 4 for 30 but 2 touchdowns, and like how likely is that? Well, look in the pick'em lobby, it's probably like 9x. So yeah, I mean, I'll do it once or twice, but the thesis of a play like that is that tight end does not separate.
Right. Yep. And, I guess the only pushback I would give on that is that the other, I think, framing of like the tight end stuff is like sometimes less about ceiling and just not cratering your good lineups with like 2s and 3s, where it's like the floor of those guys is really kind of the attractive point, where it's like you hit on the 4 other 30 balls on the slate and then you're like, well, I fucking scrolled the Jonnu Smith here instead of just taking Travis Kelce's 8 points that like, help me still ship it when no one separates. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
There's a couple of interesting ones in the chat there with like the Musgrave thing, like just bet on the athleticism and bet on the high ADOT that he's had. They missed on a decently deep one last week. And then the Terrence Ferguson, like McVay keeps talking about him. They keep using these 3 tight end sets out there. A lot of ball knowers talking about how impactful it is to go heavy and then throw out of heavy sets that, like, I don't know, you're playing whack-a-mole with Rams tight ends, but that's some crazy leverage. My one Dawson Knox note for you guys was just that Kincaid's been a part-time player all year. Like, like 53% of routes, like, he gets targeted on a large clip of them, but like he is like a part-time player out there. And Dawson Knox basically shares the exact same role as him right now without him on the field, obviously more inline blocking. But now, like, what can we untap going forward? Or does like Hayes just jump into the Kincaid role and it doesn't matter at all. So that's I don't know, just something I'll be thinking through the next couple nights here.
Yeah. All right, guys, should we do a little drafting?
Let's get in here.
All right. We have, of course, our usual contests here, the titular contests around the Deposit Kingdom, which sometimes we forget to mention on here. But if you guys are watching this show and aren't in the Deposit Kingdom Discord, feel free to join us. We got that link down below. We got channels for everything under the sun, including all of the Badge Bros sport-specific channels. We got the Deposit Kingdom League here, $10 3 max. We can hop in this first. And did the good people at Underdog lower the size on the Deposit Kingdom Weekly from 1,104 entrants down to 900? I'm pretty sure we filled this.
Hashtag make it smaller.
Now I have to go check.
Oh,
yes,
geez, I didn't get any entries in.
Yes, it is a hashtag make it smaller. Badge Bros Brawl overlaid last week, and I think it was a push-pull dynamic that both of them are a tad slower.
Are you saying you guys took me down with you? You're right. No, you're right. We didn't fill. How the fuck did we not fill? Deposit Kingdom, step up.
So
step up.
My thesis on this is those two contests drop on Friday and they're buried at the back of the page and they're buried behind hoops. They're buried behind everything. They're as far as you could possibly scroll to the right, that the only time Badge Bros Brawl gets filled is immediately after the other stuff has filled and there's 8-minute window where it's open a little bit longer because it's only 3-person drafts and then people start jamming it. I mean, guilty as charged. So I think that's the thesis right here.
I thought it was like a little crabs in the bucket situation where we're just taking Pete down with us. If our contest can't fill, neither can the DK.
I couldn't imagine that my contest wouldn't fill, and I immediately started attacking you guys. No, every Sunday I send out the reminder in the Discord. I tag everybody to make sure they get their entries in there. So bring us back to greatness, Deposit Kingdom.
Yeah, I'll do my part.
It's peak drafters fatigue. I was workshopping a take today that the interesting thing about football is it's so fun and we all love to watch on Sunday and whatever, but there's not that many moving pieces this year in terms of week over week on main slates. It's kind of you just draft the same players over and over again at the upper echelon, and then I don't know. It's not as dynamic. So I think people get stagnant in these middle weeks until then we push into, playoffs and week 17 and that sort of stuff.
That might be a nice charitable reading on it beyond just not winning and having losing fatigue. It's just the ultimate fatigue, but your boys pushing through that, baby.
Go, Pete.
All right. Jamar Chase falling to 1-5 is a gift from the Deposit Kingdom gods.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that, guys. Who is your 102 this week?
I take JSN.
Okay.
Or sorry, 102. I've been playing it by ADP, but I think I prefer JSN is how I should say it.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I've been doing Chase if he's there.
We're back on the clock. Deposit Kingdom, small field contest. You guys want to grab a Rico Cook here or go double wide receiver?
Flip the board with Cook.
One. Okay. Go do Johnston.
All right. Here we go.
Nobody's going to take Cook on the right-hand side of the board. Nobody likes to run on Tampa Bay up the middle. Well, guess what? Cook can break a whole bunch of shit off to the outside in outside zone shit.
The look at John there beating Nez to the punch on his guy, James Cook.
I know I've given him ownership of the James Cook bit. It's his for this week at least.
Yes,
for this week it's John's.
Yeah, I think my thing, and I've talked about this dynamic before, and it burned me the week I was taking JT over CMC, but I'm just mainly playing ADP straight up because I don't want to have 80% JSN, and that number is outrageous, but you get what I'm saying. Just being completely heavy JSN and underexposed to Chase.
Yeah, I definitely take a humility approach there as well. Just knowing that I'm drafting at volume 2, I just think it makes the most sense.
Yeah. It's a cool conversation though for the small field stuff though, and like in the bombs and fullback dives, kind of taking your stand there, I think definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rico and Jalen Warren over Justin Jefferson. What happened to the game I love?
Blame JJ McCarthy, dude. I mean, that's your boy.
I can give you 9 reasons what happened.
Yes.
Yeah, Pat on the walkthrough said JJ McCarthy just has no touch. He only knows one speed with his passes.
That was a funny line by him about that was the carnival.
Yeah. It's just because you can I can hear him saying that on a stream.
Yeah.
This isn't the fucking speedball.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys want to scoop up the London Q tag? If it's here, grab Nico, Devontae, John's boy Derrick Henry.
Rip.
London.
Yeah,
goes.
I mean, I might set up like a Lamar Henry thing here, and I know it's slightly negatively correlated, but it's something I've been doing. Just
all right. Who do you want first? Let's do Henry first.
Take Henry.
Yes, let's do Henry, and please, for the love of God, tease and dare this guy to take Lamar, because John, you're a different animal, man. To do Lamar and Henry in this spot, man, that's no one ever said you don't have guts. I'll say that.
It's fun, baby. It's fun. What if the Browns just suck and they go burr in a bad weather game?
It's not improbable. It's certainly not improbable, right? You can just Ravens go burr, just make that the thesis. And I think it's easy to conceive too, because they've done it once already, this season, week 2 or week 3, Ravens absolutely went off on the Browns. Dylan Gabriel sucks. It's not improbable, but I definitely don't like it.
Defense is good and offense is most concentrated it's been all year with Lamar at the helm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
their defense has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, they're good now. They haven't given up more than 20 in 3 weeks since being healthy, I think it is.
What we got here is what I'm realizing with this lineup that we've let John heavily influence is this is a 2024 ass lineup right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Henry, James Cook, and Chase. This team, John, week 11 last year, you wouldn't be able to get this quartet here.
No way.
This is a GM tweeted with some sailboats as well from a nice bird's eye view.
Yeah, talking about the location, EV.
Yeah.
Gadsden goes. Nez, we're gonna swing back to you. John has enough fingerprints on this bad boy.
Yeah. I fully agree with that. Let's do Metcalf.
Yeah.
Let's put some faith in our matchups here and the usage. Yeah, we get the run back there. Both those guys speed up the game. That's the intent.
That's a fun one.
What tight end should we do here, guys? You could always tack on Mark Andrews or just grab the projection with a Kelsey Otten Pitts. I mentioned in Pitts, we could do him here at a slight ownership discount.
I think that's fun. I like the idea of scrolling for tight end there.
I guess it would just be if you like Otten opposite Cook or something like that.
I like Pitts more than Otten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, especially because the ownership. If you were to tie break there, it's going to be hard for people to pass up on Otten with his box score and the high total game or the perceived high total game, and then to pass up on Kelsey for free is hard for people as well. So yeah, let's go Pitts.
Here's the final squad: Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, James Cook, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Kyle Pitts. What do you think, John?
I like it. Yeah, I'm a proponent.
You better. You made every goddamn pick.
I'm a proponent of flipping the board with the Henry Cook stuff, and then I love these elite quarterbacks that you can get in the 3rd and 4th round. I'll be scooping up the Lamar and Josh Allen stuff, which is something I don't normally do. Question there at the end there in small field 900, You guys like going that angle? Like it's too much to go Andrews as well. Like you're asking for 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like that's like too much.
I think the projection you're probably sacrificing there is what, around 3.5 points.
Okay.
And then I guess the scenarios where like it's just way more likely that Andrews fails, and then the scenarios where he does hit, that's the like kind of risk you're more willing to take on in the BR, where it's like if he has that 2 touchdown game or something, you get paid off in a bigger way. Would just be kind of my thought on it. But I'm also always pro correlating. But once we did Henry, we're basically now saying Derrick Henry 2 rushing touchdowns, Lamar 1 rushing touchdown. It starts to squeeze like how Mark Andrews gets to a difference-making game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was just curious your guys' thoughts on that. People showing off in this one, eh? The Loveland scroll, the Dawson Knox scroll, the Worthy scroll. Love it.
Always showing off in the Friday afternoon stream. If you want to see real showing off, watch what's about to happen in this Badge Bros Brawl.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And watch me hit this drive, baby.
2 chances. Snap filled. I hope some people who are ready to peacock got in here. We got the Prince of Cool and Danger Zone 300. Both those.
How did these guys find the Badge Bros Brawl? Like they just happen to be just like really perusing the lobby. Like how do they land on this contest? I would love to bring these guys on Bash style and be like, how did you get here? Who told you about this?
Maybe they're watching and they heard our cry for help to fill these contests, and they said,
just some good Samaritans.
Yeah, yes, we are here at your service.
We'll really know if they're sneak watching based on their picks, of course. You know, if they're going to show off, we know they're big fans, and I apologize for not respecting their game, but I think I know where we're going with this. Just save me the last 2 picks. Save me a quarterback and a wide receiver. Just save me a stack.
Well, I was going to say Trey McBride 102, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with it.
I mean, it's
you guys might really like this one now.
Don't you think optimal by like game theory standpoint would be McBride or Scroll? Because you're gonna have Kittle or Gadsden at probably 100%.
Yeah, I'd probably just full fade Gadsden.
Yeah. So we'll go McBride. And then the nice thing about that move here is even if they go Chase JSN, you're still guaranteed one Nakua as part of the big 3 at wide receiver. And he goes Jacobs Allen. So now you can get JSN, you can get Chase, you can get Puka, whoever you want.
I'd go with your heart there, Pete. Like you know, I mean the other thing is if you like Bijan above the tier below, you could take Bijan and put it on him, and you're still going to get one of the 3 back.
Nez, what are you thinking?
Bijan.
Okay. Get one of lock in the 3.
Yeah, and then just like let RNG decide which of these wide receivers we get.
Yep. We'll see how dangerous they're feeling here.
Yeah, unless it's a Atlanta superstar week with Algier, and then in which case we're really screwed. But I think the do thesis is like so strong with Bijan.
All right,
they go Chase JSN, fun 6-7 there to pair with CMC. We will grab Puka here.
GM, good sir.
It's almost my turn. So
Nez, it's your turn to land this plane.
I had a skinny stack in mind, but now I'm like, now I'm wondering, do I want to take this to a double? But I think we'll go
double.
Yeah.
I'm not doing Michael Wilson and Jacoby Brissett in this.
Oh, you bastard! All right, we'll take take a running back here.
Is that what you were gonna say?
That was like number 2 on my list. Yes.
Oh my God! You want it? Okay. Who do you want? Rico, Cook, or Warren?
Let's do Warren.
Okay.
Shocking development.
Just wait. It'll all make sense.
No, I just meant Warren in that tier.
Flacco to Higgins?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Flacco to Higgins is like the stack in Badge Bros Brawl.
I was going to say, like Higgins ADP is pretty tough in the 6s, and then you get it here at low ownership.
Yeah, like 10% each, maybe less.
Yep.
And you're absolutely golden. Yeah. Sorry, I permission to cook denied. No Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, Jacoby doubles against the stinkiest defense.
I guess I'm going to establish a rule. That rule is if a player doesn't ever get drafted in the sixes, then you don't take him in the Badge Bros Brawl. That's just my personal rule.
It's a fair rule.
You know what they say about rules, man.
All right, there we go. We'll take T. Higgins. We will take Joe Flacco there. I like how this squad turned out. Let's see here. I'll give the full recap.
Yeah, John, you check private chat, by the way.
All right, the final squad here: Joe Flacco, Bijan Robinson, Jalen Warren, Puka Nacua, T. Higgins, Trey McBride. Make sure you guys get your entries into the Badge Bros Brawl this week in the Deposit Kingdom. Do not make us make it smaller. All right, John, did you get in this draft?
I sure did.
Right. What? You didn't get in?
No, when I said I'm in, I don't know what I meant by that. It's okay.
He lied in the private chat. I'm in.
I meant like I was. I didn't mean I'm in. I meant like,
okay.
I'm in.
Words mean nothing. Words mean nothing.
No, it's okay. I could use a breather.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Mr. 120 drafts needs a breather.
Yeah.
This is a nasty room, though. I mean, we got some true players for real.
Yeah, it smells crazy in this room.
Yeah.
All right, let me get the Nez. You can be our
the tour guide.
The tour guide. No, you got to be our color commentator. You know, boots on the ground. What's going on in these rooms?
Yeah,
stuff we need to know here.
ADP has pretty much corrected for the most part in terms of like being correct. For a while there, Aaron Jones was lagging ADP wise. He's caught up significantly because he goes really early, man, based on obviously the projections there. It's really like those ADP 30, 36 running backs and six persons that go way earlier in Dawg Bowls, of course, but I like starting out wide receiver in round one just because I think running back is pretty deep, like we talked about in six person. I mean, you don't want to wait too long, but it is pretty deep in Dawg Bowls.
It's an interesting concept with the running back stuff this week because I go back to the notion when we were talking about scrolling there. It's like, man, if CMC doesn't kill you this week, who kills you?
At running back?
Yeah, I feel like if you get, as long as you get 12 to 18 points, I think you could be live to win a Dawg Bowl seat, at the running back position, right?
You've seen that quite a bit where you don't need a super sick score at running back.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was to if you were to pose that question and you're who, tell me, I think my answer would be Jacobs.
Okay.
I just smell 3 touchdowns in Jacobs' box score this week.
Yeah. Okay. Rico can definitely go nuts on massive volume, but I hear you.
Yeah, Rico's. Yeah, I'm more scared of Rico than I am Jacobs for whatever reason, but I've always been kind of biased when it comes to Jacobs. I like him. I love him in I'm the guy who always drafts him, and Nez and I we always put up a fight for him in round 3 of BBM and that sort of thing. But then when it comes to the daily stuff, for whatever reason, I just I feel like it lacks ceiling because he doesn't catch passes. And if he's going right, nothing else in the offense is going right. And he's just got to fall in the end zone 2 times. I'd be really interested to go back in our historicals and go 4 years deep on how many times Josh Jacobs has been in a winning BR lineup.
He was in them a lot last year.
Was he really? Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I mean, we just had such a dominant year from Cook, Barkley, Henry, and Jacobs, but I bet he was in a good amount of them.
GA, please delete your comments from the chat. Please delete your comments. We're trying to run a clean operation out here with no collusion in the drafts. I'm not taking Shout out to requests from the chat. Please, sir.
All right, Nez, I have to ask this because I remember we had an infamous week, and I forget what double stack I was asking about. And I think I was asking about a Puka Devontae, and I like passed on it. I'm like, oh, that's probably pretty popular. And you're like, I actually have barely seen that in these at all. So I will ask the same question. Are people rolling out Rams double stacks?
Not really. No. Like,
They are now.
Damn right. As you should, dude. No, I mean, people are so projection pilled now. It's like no one cares about stacking. No one cares about, like it just projections.
A-Win, man.
Make
A-Win ruined our games, dude.
Many are saying.
Many are saying A-Win ruined the game I love.
Did I see you got deported to DraftKings or something? FanDuel?
It's over for him. He can't draft on here anymore.
That's
so.
right. Yeah.
Deported to DraftKings. That's great. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think if there was a popular double stack, I would assume that Puka and Devontae are like the most popular one. But like,
because ADP lines up like perfectly there.
Yeah, it does, and they do project well. But yeah, like I said, man, people are just so projection pilled right now. They're like they could give a damn about correlation, which maybe it's an edge, or maybe that's just like the way to play these games. Who's to say? I still like correlating.
Stop, correlate, and listen.
Oh,
Stafford double stack. I got nothing.
I can't wait to just go
Stafford's
with
vanilla ice.
Can't wait to just go for the Stafford Ferg double top here.
Please do, dude. No, don't worry. I'll grab a naked quarterback in round 6 with more rushing upside.
Thank you for sniping me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Nez, no cheating, okay? I want to know how thick in the weeds you are in the Dawg Bowl this week. There is an unrecognizable, crazy player at QB 21, which is like Penix, Lawrence, Bryce Young. This name goes there. Are you familiar
he playing
with
football?
He is probably not playing football, and I'm shocked that his name is here. And I just wanted to know how far you've scrolled on the purple tab to know if you know this name. Because I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
No, I have no idea.
Stetson Bennett is QB 21 in the Dawg Bowl drafts right now, ahead of Mac Jones, Dylan Gabriel, Cam Ward, etc.
Wow.
It's just, I don't know how that happened. How'd that happen? Yeah.
Siege is to qualify.
Yep.
Nice.
Only the best of the best playing Dawg Bowls. That's why you get Stetson Bennett at QB 20. That's crazy.
That was pretty funny.
No, that's bizarre.
So far here, I started Puka and Devontae, was deciding which running back I wanted to do. Wanted to get a Swift share. Haven't been getting to him a ton in the 6s, so thought I'd grab one here. And John is about to add to his Igbuka Henry start.
No, buddy. All these plays stank.
This is normally the point of the draft where John starts to do a little showing off.
Yep.
And wow, just right on cue.
Didn't even need to do it because Chris has 2 running backs, but I just knew I had to get my guy here.
Yeah, this is like that's Gadsden range right there.
Yeah, that's right. As Rohan sends here, you can't take away my Rams double stack because I always have Stetson in my back pocket.
That's right. Nice little team for Chris.
Just for a rainy day. A little snipe on a rainy day.
What do you got, John?
I got a plan.
I never doubted you.
John always has a concept of a plan, I believe. Okay. Yeah. All right. Kelsey's back on track. All right.
Yeah. The people
I already know what you're doing. Do you want me to blow up your spot?
No, don't. Please, no. Please, no.
All right.
Thought you were going to get Mahomes all the way back. That's unfortunate for you.
I just feel like if you win Dawg Bowl, John, isn't that just Bo money, Bo problems?
Get him. What kind of problem? That's the question.
That was pretty good.
The question is, what kind of problems are we dealing with here?
But I left myself another out. With the Tracy pick too. So
Okay.
I'm giving myself multiple outs here.
I will say, and this is just a pros of absolutely nothing, of course. Don't see a lot of Jameis Winston going in the 12 persons.
All right. Then
Okay.
we're good.
All right. I'm not, Tubins and Len Keith and Patrick Barnes YouTube. Sure, great guys. Couldn't trust them farther than I could fucking throw them. I'm going to take Stafford here.
Yeah, no, you got to take Stafford there because Barnes doesn't give a shit, dude. Barnes couldn't care less.
This guy, dude, he's just a road. This guy, all he cares about is thumbnails, SEO optimization. He gives zero shits about your stack.
He's probably feeling a little lonely because his Davis isn't streaming, so he doesn't have anybody to get in the draft rooms with.
Yeah, this is the closest he could get. I will say this: if Addison was there, I was gonna click Addison, but otherwise, I was like, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Does Patrick ever participate in the chat while Davis is streaming? I never see him in the chat, but I always see him in the draft.
Nope.
No, the real question is if he's a lurker or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's lurking. I think he's always watching us.
Yeah,
like
he's
God
lurking.
above, he's always watching.
They're all lurking, man.
That's a great Purdy double, by the way. Big fan.
Yeah.
Stamp of approval by me on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think now I have a plan.
You have the concept of a plan B.
This is where I take Kate Otten.
Okay.
I'm going to
Get
take
out
Kate
ahead of
Otten
it.
here. Get out ahead of it.
End of a tier, I believe, if I'm seeing the board correctly. I can't imagine there's much of anything past Kate Otten.
Because Pitts,
Well,
Schultz,
AJ Barner on the bring back, bro.
Double tight end, dude. It's the new Dawg Bowl meta. I'm going to blow up strategy for the Dawg Bowl with the double tight end strategy right as the contest is ending. Next week, everyone piling in the 2 tight end lineups.
I'm trying to conceptualize it with like a McBride, Gadsden, or McBride Kittle.
Yeah. I think it like has to involve McBride. For absolute sure.
Oh man, I'm scrolling like I got another slot. I don't even have another slot here.
No, dude. It's QB and wide receiver. It's you're telegraphed.
Man.
John thought he got an influencer 7th roster spot in these Dawg Bowl drafts.
Oh man, I've already clicked Shaheed out here. I was clicking Brian Thomas. I was getting to all our scrolls we were talking about.
I mean, Shaheed's still on the board.
Can we shut up?
No, I gotta stack my quarterback. I'm not like these fucking I'm not like these young kids in their slappy generation, you know?
Everybody just needs to shut the fuck up. Watch the board, eyes on your own paper, and let the streamer stream.
All right, John.
Oh, Nez, you got to be kidding yourself if that's who I had queued up.
No, it's Franklin Nix.
Oh, it's Franklin Nix.
I knew it. It was always Franklin Nix.
Yep.
It was always Franklin Nix.
All about the Benjamin Franklin's Bo Money Bro problems, huh?
What's the deal with Brian Thomas? Did he practice today?
He's questionable. They're teasing us.
Yeah.
He's been LP for like the last few days.
Which is crazy with a high ankle when you think about it. Like, that's not a high ankle sprain if he goes LP, officially LP today. So three days of LP, but Parker Washington, who had the Q tag before, was DNP double LP, and they ruled him in already. Coach Speak ruled him in. So it's interesting that they go 3 LPs and then don't rule him in, and they leave like some ambiguity to the situation.
Yeah, I don't think Thomas is playing. But he's a very fine pick, man, in Dawg Bowl. Like where Chris took him, not that, you could take him anywhere in the 6th round, but I like it because as a swap, it's no big deal at that point.
Yeah. I mean, like Chris is doing something I've never considered before. It's just like taking like good
Drafting a good
football
team.
players in the last 2 picks. Like he gets Keenan Allen and Brian Thomas. Like those guys have been like first round fantasy picks in the past. Like, and I'm just going out here like, yo, give me this Tyrone Tracy shit. Give me this Troy Franklin dude. Come on.
Dude, hands up here because we pushed the plane, baby.
All right, you're good. You're in the clear. Congrats.
Let's see it.
There it is.
Oh, yes.
That's
good
here
pick.
it is.
Good pick.
That's a
Matthew Stafford double, Shaheed bring back Swift and K-Dot. And John, you did get the Bo money, Bo problems. Tell the people what you cooked up.
Yeah, I mean, I left myself outs there. A little famous Jameis was on the table. I'm going to make sure I get a couple of those this evening. But I went with Igbuka and Henry, who I'm a little bit higher on in the field apparently, and then Tyrone Tracy, who I like him and DeMarcado as my 2 like second running back guys in this format. And then Kelsey was staring me in the face to set up the kind of game correlation, so it made too much sense. Kelsey, Franklin, Bo Nix to close. Bo Nix, man. Peaks and valleys, but we've seen him break a couple slates there. Obviously not the best matchup in the world, but just the fact that he's QB 15, and what do you guys think he comes in at in Dawg Bowls? Like 58%, something like that?
He's way less.
Yeah.
Way less. Yeah.
I'm good with that.
QB 15.
I know it's been fucking ugly. It's eerily similar to the Justin Fields play last night on the Primetime Palooza, where like everybody's like, oh, you can't get to QB6, and then he outscores Drake May. And it's just like, yeah, it wasn't pretty how he got there, and they lost the football game, but I don't really give a shit. I'm scoring fantasy points.
All right, there it is, the Nezless Dawg Bowl. Nez, if you were in this draft, what would you have done?
You want me to give away all the secrets, bro? I probably would have done what you did. Those are all players that I like right now. Stafford double is fun. Shaheed bringback's fun. And I do a lot of DeAndre Swift this week, so I'm with you on that.
Our guy Galen here from the Solver, he rolled out a little Josh Allen, Shakir Knox double stack there. Very fun stuff. All right. You guys ready to spice it up a little bit? Oops, there goes my screen. But
roll it.
Let's get it rolling here. Pick'em, spicy margs.
Spicy margs. Radioactive spice.
Let's spice it up, slop it up.
Slop it up.
I mean,
slide. Just
permission to slide, Your Honor.
you sliders.
That's a 65X. That makes me feel things. All right. All right, guys. It is it's time to do something that we have failed to do recently, which is hit a core.
Just the highest confidence plays that we could possibly offer for ourselves and for our audience. It just can't get home.
Oh man, gotta call it like it is. But we're getting back in our winning ways here. Hopefully with some soccer picks or tennis, because that's the only boosts I seem to have in the lobby right now.
No high
you know what?
confidence footy picks for me. I'm sorry.
I think I got to do this with Nez. I'm just like, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet.
I'm trying to get serious, man. Like I'm done losing these core pickups. This is the core. This is supposed to be the core. It's just supposed to be simple. And
I refuse to get serious.
All right. Where do we want to start, Nez? Get us back on the right track here.
All right. We're going to start. This is the confidence on this one is as high as it's been in a while for your boy. Rachaad White, lower fantasy points.
Oh,
wow. All right. I like it. 10.95. Speak on that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the writing is on the wall here that this is not a Rachaad White game. Just couldn't be a less of a Rachaad White game in the slightest. Sure. Negative game script. I hear you on that. But the weather's supposed to be pretty shitty in this one. They're in Buffalo, and Buffalo, this is such like a get right spot for Buffalo. It's insane. I don't have a lot of faith in the Buccaneers offense here personally. And Sean Tucker slowly being, more and more involved in this spot here. Rachaad White's been bad. Just straight up. He's been pretty bad. So I'm taking the lower on the fantasy points here, man. I don't think he gets in the end zone. I don't think he gets close to 100 scrimmage yards. Lower.
All right, let's do it.
I-
Lock it in.
Nez, I reacted the way I reacted because I was like, no fucking way. I had Rachaad White lower rushing yards for a very similar thesis. So
Okay.
I was a little shocked that you went there. My second alternate here, Chase Brown higher rush yards. I like Chase Brown stuff this week. I like the full workload. No Samaje Perine. Let's get it, man.
All right, I have a few different directions I've been wanting to go, but you know what? Sometimes around here you play the hits. You know, Dink goes with Roma Dunze as his flag plant every week. Some of us just keep slamming Wan'Dale Robinson over and over and over again. It is at a slight dock. It's 0.86 for the higher 5.5 receptions, but this has been the same number when Darius Slayton was playing. It was the same number when Dart was at quarterback. We get Winston here. I know Nez is on board with the Wan'Dale. We're going to take him here higher 5.5 receptions.
I was surprised you didn't go Michael Pittman. I was thinking you were lining up another Michael Pittman one here.
You know, looks like the best I could do is not being able to queue up Randy Pittman because I'm not allowed to do college football pickups in the great
Randy
state of
Pittman.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't do Michael Pittman on the bye either, but we'll take Wan'Dale here.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Rachaad White, lower 10.95 fantasy points. Chase Brown, higher 58.5 rush yards. Wan'Dale Robinson, higher 5.5 receptions. I wish I had a boost. Boost yourself if you have it, but we will lock in this core here, folks.
All right, that was the cleanest core we've had in weeks, man. That's how it's supposed to feel. That's how the core is supposed to go. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement. John's not making me gag. This is great.
That's right. All right, now that we got that out of our system, let's have some fun. Let's pick a game here. What's a game we want to get into?
Ooh. Okay. Well, we were all, I don't know. This week's a little different than we weren't all like into a given game. I would throw out, I think Nez is going to throw out Bengals and Steelers. I would throw out the sneaky Packers and Giants with like some contrarian ways to find it.
Okay. Definitely.
My suggestion would be Vikings and Bears.
Okay. That's
Vikings
that's
and
like
Bears.
the darling angle. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Graphic is reporting unlimited 25% boost on mobile right now. This is a hilarious PSA considering right before the show went live, I told Nez and John I can't find my phone right now.
I don't have that.
Okay,
I'm checking. Let's see. He might be doxing himself.
Ooh, yikes. Looks like someone's a punter. Look, if anybody should have the 25% boost on their phone, it's me right now. The issue is I can't find my phone.
Yeah, I only got soccer and tennis right now.
Okay. All right. So does Unabated have anything for the tennis?
I think they do.
Okay.
I think they
Please do. Please get it. I need to boost something.
Mm.
Holy cow. Guess did the filter just work for the first time? Or I guess we're not getting all the picks here. I got too excited. Okay, John, talk us through what is the story we want to tell with Packers and Giants?
I think it hinges upon a little bit of Musgrave on one side. I think it hinges upon a little bit of Josh Jacobs on the ground as well. And then I think it's Jameis airing it the F out, and we can use your core pick or a pivot of your core pick in it as well. So I would play it as maybe like a Jacobs touchdown and a Musgrave touchdown, and then play passing game on the other side would be my initial instincts.
My only thing there is just the Jacobs tutty's only 0.68.
Oh, that's worse than I anticipated.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
you like the Musgrave?
He's 1.3 to score twice. Like
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's like an Aaron Judge home run.
I know.
Like what?
2 touchdowns.
I'm trying to see like.
Okay, let's take Jacobs out.
Okay.
And then let's see what we can just do with the Giants side.
I will say, man, Jacob's fantasy points is totally fine too.
Yeah.
What's
If you're
the number?
playing, yeah, it's 18.15.
Who's getting that?
Well, John just said that no one but CMC can bury you, so I don't think he thinks Jacobs is going for more than 18.15.
I was just about to say, if he goes for 18.15, I'm buried.
What if we throw Wandell on here, but we just do a slide to 6.5 to get it plus?
Okay.
Yes. I just really like the thesis is the writing's on the wall here from GA saying John just wants to slide Winston, and it's true.
Okay, so how do you want to slide him?
Either yardage or touchdowns, depending what gives us the better multiplier. Like if we go 3 touchdowns on him, and then we go slide on Wandell, and then you go slide on Theo Johnson yardage or something, like see what we can get to.
I'm also thinking, like, what if you did, like, can we get to 40 pass attempts for Winston here?
That feels so safe. Like that's the
because that's a
thesis.
1.58, and we don't have to worry about any kind of actual efficiency.
Yeah, that's the thesis of the whole damn play. That's the whole idea, is that he's dropping back. So
or you can
like
take
that.
him to 41 for a 1.94. What is like his historical, like what's the Winston like?
So the Browns, like they were chucking it, and that was like kind of their identity. The Giants have a new coach, but he did tap Winston over Russ. So to me, that indicates that there's some level of comfortability in terms of dropping back.
Dude, look at these pass attempts last year.
Oh, yeah.
41, 46, 46. There was a 58 that overtime game against Denver, 41. I think we take it to 40.5 for the higher 1.94. Like you said, Nez, the whole point, like once you say we're not doing the Russ stuff, this is like Giants YOLO. It's like we just fired our coach. You know, our best player has a concussion. Our other best player is out for the year. Let's give the fan base something to be excited about, which is 41 pass attempts from Jameis Winston in week 11.
Like the way I see it, man, I feel like he's being like Kafka's being realistic about this. He's like, all right, here's the deal. The Packers are probably going to be up on us, right? I mean, we can't stop the run for to save our lives. The Packers, all they want to do is run the ball. Let's be prepared to drop back and chuck it. Let's go Jameis. I mean,
okay. The only counter I have for you guys is, so what was the multiplier on that, Pete?
1.94.
194. What's more likely, that or Jameis 280 yards? Because that's 203.
I think the pass attempts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm good with it. And
because
then
without Slayton too, like they just don't have as many of the like big play merchants. I think we just want just the chucks.
Okay. Sounds good there. And then the other thing was the Tyrone Tracy stuff that I'm obviously way more bullish than anybody else. Like throw receptions in there, throw receiving yards, something like that. If he's throwing this many times.
Let me see what the multiplier. So it's at 11.11. Tracy takes it receiving to 14.82. If you just do fantasy points, that takes you to 23.65. That's probably the best way to take advantage of the boost.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so this is some sick shit. Musgrave TD, Wandell Robinson, 7 receptions. Jameis Winston chucks it 41 times, and Tyrone Tracy clears 9.95 fantasy points.
I like it. The other,
well,
I'm a sick deranged fuck. But the other way I would potentially do it is run the 3 Giants pieces again, and then do it with like Jacobs or someone else on the other side.
I'm doing it twice.
Yeah. What if you could do it with like Watson or Dobbs. Yeah. I like the Dobbs. Yeah. So like do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's run this twice.
Yeah.
Run it once with that would be very tilting to hit on all the Giant stuff and then not have the TD bring it home.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna drop this. I think that's the right one. All right, so this is NYG1. Sounds like weight loss drugs. NYG1.
It's the evolution of GLP-1s.
Yeah. And what do you guys, which one do you like, Watson or Dobbs for the touchdown? Dobbs probably.
I like Dobbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dobbs up.
All right, there you go, running it twice. All right, Nez, where do you want to take us here?
I was gonna do the Bears and Vikings, and do a little bit of wish casting on this one, and do something with like Luther Burden, and do like a Luther Burden longest reception. We don't even have to get that crazy with it, but do like a Luther Burden longest reception, and then play something around, the Vikings scoring a lot of points as well. Just keeping it real simple.
Yeah. I mean, I always love tossing Addison in these little speed up the game.
Yeah,
minis.
exactly. Oh, dude, that's a 2.5x for a Burden 30-yard longest reception. That's what it's all about, man. That's the thesis of the play.
That's why we play the games.
Yeah.
If you did longest reception for Addison, you could say, what do you like better? 35 yards reception is a 1.65, or the equivalent would be like him getting to 80 receiving yards for 1.8.
I like 80.
Yeah. So that's like a clean little 12.26x. Do you like that Burden 30-yard reception? Addison gets to 80.
I like that. Like just run that. You can reuse it and add more to it. But I think that's like a fun twofer, just like a nice little easy thesis to the game here.
Nice.
I'd almost call it a layup.
Gotta careful with the L words.
Yeah, that's the new. It's not a lock. It's a layup. And look, from my experience, you can miss a lot of layups.
You can miss a couple of layups.
Let me say, I play below the rim. All right, I have an idea. That's what April says. This is like April's new thing when she wants to like dictate like what we do for the evening.
I love it.
I have an idea, and she points her finger up like this. Like, what is this? It's always like, I'm gonna have a piece of candy right now, and I'm like, yeah.
Funny, I have similar ideas.
I was thinking, what about something like a Xavier Worthy, RJ Harvey mini?
Let's go.
Can I interest you in something like that?
You have my attention.
Good. Let's see. So long.
If you type in Xavier Worthy is the 7th Xavier that comes up in the lobby right now.
Yeah.
Dave is down so bad. Oh, no.
Underdog treats Xavier Worthy like they do the Deposit Kingdom and Badge Bros Brawl contests. They just bury him at the end of the carousel.
No one's looking for this guy.
How would you guys like to play Harvey Nuke game as far as slide scrimmage yards?
Yeah, I'd play combo yardage.
So
like combo yardage 99.5 to 1.8x.
Yeah, so Worthy 100 receiving yards and Harvey 100 scrimmage yards is a 23.68x.
That seems like it.
I like it.
Yep.
Ship it.
That was a fun one. Both of those last two were fun. I wanted to bring up a thesis earlier about the Addison stuff. When he was popping in the utilization report and he was like lapping the field, he was like in the top 5 as like a utilization score. All that stuff was with Wentz. I don't know. That's just like a theory of the scroll stuff I was thinking of. It doesn't matter for our pick 'em at all or whatever.
Well,
I was just wondering if that was like a byproduct of Wentz.
To me, it's a byproduct of competent quarterback play. And the thesis, I think, is just that we get competent McCarthy today.
Right.
Would be, as opposed to it being like specifically QB driven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like it. I just wanted to bring it up earlier when we were talking about wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his production has definitely dipped the past couple of weeks. Okay.
We get a little touchdown one and call it?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's get a TD one up in here.
I'm very much team Jacob scores twice, but
this is like So Jacob scored twice at 1.3. Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, 1.3. I mean, dude, I'm going to have some Jacob scores 3 times as well, but do Jacobs twice. I can't help myself, man. This is just like
I know. I wish. Oh, okay. It's 1.3. That is rough.
That is rough.
It's the year of the chalk.
It's the year of the chalk. Okay.
If we're doing this, do you want to do the all 2 tutty one? Were you going here?
Dude, I literally just built this one without you guys, and I was like, permission to share. I just did Rico 2 tutties, and I did Derrick Henry 2 tutties and put it together.
This is that's 40x for 2 touchdowns. Come on. This does look like top of the BR leaderboard. You have to have 2 of Jacobs, Rico, and Derrick Henry.
This is one of those ones where if it hits, it's getting shared on the socials because they want people to do this. Look at what these knuckleheads hit on stream. 2 touchdowns for 1.3x.
Nobody look at how much money I'm putting on this.
Oh, I can picture this in the portfolio review right now. Of course, I only put $5 on this.
Yep. Yes. I just said don't to dox my unit size.
Sorry.
I'm
I
kidding.
don't listen well.
All right, let's do one more touchdown one at better odds.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
We got to get a Shaheed Tutty in here, right?
Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
1.37. Who else is scoring a Tutty?
How about a Dawson Knox 1.63?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Well,
Dawson
you guys
Knox.
said no to this a few minutes ago, but Michael Wilson?
Sure, yes. We finally found a format where Michael Wilson is in play. I like it.
Thank you.
If you want one more sicko one, we were talking about what should we check the odds on Terrence Ferguson?
Oh yeah.
Wow, yeah.
2.04. I think the guy's got a nose for it, man. I think he's got a nose for it.
They love him. They would love to get him involved.
50x. Take it to the bank. It's a layup. It's a long layup. It's a layup from half court, but you are kind of shooting it underhand still.
Yeah, it's granny style.
It's Michael Jordan in Space Jam where the arm extends.
Yes. All right. We did it. We put together the winning entries here today. What is the Bros schedule this weekend?
What was that?
What is the Bros schedule?
No, John. I think like John was like sneezing or whispering like a mouse.
I said private chat, please.
Oh, you're right. Yes, sorry.
It was my first private chat, please, of the day.
I think no strip Nez tonight. Don't see any reason why that's not going down. So more Dawg Bowls here. Hopefully a little hoop sweat along if I play my cards right. And that's the only thing on my docket for tonight.
Nice. Anything else for you, John?
Nope. Just gonna be playing the hoop slate and drafting alongside the community there. And gonna have a nice little weekend here, a little concert tomorrow night, and that'll be that.
Who are you seeing?
Zach Top.
Okay. Not is related to any relation to Carrot Top?
No. He's probably the polar. He's the polar opposite of Carrot Top. He's a second coming of Alan Jackson, who's like mid-20s years old, who looks like he was born in 92, or looks like he was around as a performer in 92.
Okay, still know nothing about their music.
Jackson,
it's good old picking and grinning here. Mustaches, cowboy hats pulled down, plaid shirts, and
that's right.
acoustic guitar.
The most American guy on the stream. Going.
All right, there you go. All right, guys, appreciate you. We will catch you guys later this weekend. Tonight, no strip. I am gonna have. If you guys want more Dawg Bowl stuff, I'm having Chris G on After Dark tomorrow, so that'll be a fun one. We'll do a couple drafts and pick G's brain about the slate, and then I'll be back for the cram on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. If you guys haven't signed up for the Underdog Masterclass, you've made it to week 11 and you said, you know what, that looks like fun. Check out the Masterclass. It'll get you caught up to speed in no time. Promo code BADGE will get you 10% off. Good luck this weekend. We'll see you guys next week for Off and On the